What up? What up? What up? What's happening, good people? Y'all know what it is. We are back in the building. Enlightened podcast coming at you live each and every Saturday, doing what it is that we do. Sometimes I don't know how we get to what we get to or what we're doing, but guess what? We right here doing it. Rant for this week is this. Ladies, y'all say all men cheat. And I agree. All men cheat. Fellas, y'all be like, all these chicks want is money. I agree. All they want is money. But what neither one of y'all understand is if all the dudes that you meet cheat on you and all the chicks that you meet want money, maybe you should start trying to meet some different types of people. A lot of y'all don't understand that you are the reason that all the bad stuff happens to you. You are the problem. Stop trying to blame everybody else. You are the problem. If every dude you meet cheat on you, clearly you meeting the wrong types of dudes. Because there's a lot of dudes I know personally that's not even an option for them. I'm just saying. I know a lot of women that they don't want a penny out you. They just want your time, your efforts, your emotions, all of that. But y'all like, oh man, I ain't messing with these chicks, man. All they want to do is take my money. Crazy part is most of y'all dudes ain't even got no money to give, but you talking about they want all your money. Whatever. I'm just saying. Figure out what it is in you. Figure out what you are. Figure out the problem that you are creating, that you keep messing with the same type of people. It ain't everybody. It's the people that you meet. I'm just saying. What up, Fred? Okay. I mean, I could hear you if your mic was on, but I'm with you.
No, my mic is on now. My mic check 1, check 2. Can you hear me? Am I red or my blue? Whoop-de-woo. I got the rhymes tonight. How you doing though, Roy? It's been a long day. I've been doing some stuff.
That's what we doing?
Yeah, we pulling up with the bars. I've been working all day, doing some stuff around the house. So this is what you got for me today. Like no earrings either. I feel real boyish. I got some straight backs with no earrings. I feel real thugged out tonight.
She about to set it off tonight. That's what I'm talking about.
Set it off. You know what I'm saying? Like Cleo. But hey, no homo. No homo.
Not sure why you had to say that, but I'm with you. Hey, what's poppin', guys?
What's up? I've been MIA for a couple of weeks, so I'm here.
The fact you sound this tired is crazy.
Nah, but this came on with it's the quiet storm with hectic. This came on. I've been.
And I don't know.
Nice to see.
I don't know why. I feel like you taking shots at your girl Megan. Like, she's heartbroken right now. You can't. You gotta uplift her. You know what I mean? Not tell her what she's been doing wrong, but tell her, girl, yes, he's the fucked up person, and whatever.
So I won't say that I'm taking shots, but what I will say is what I just said was very true. At some point, people got to understand if you keep messing with the same people or all around the sea. I just said this last week. If you're around the same people all the time, that's what you're going to get.
Technically, she messed with different
genres of the same type of person.
Different genres of the same type of person.
Dude to the next basketball dude, right? I'm just saying.
Hey, yo, yeah,
But I'm sure we're gonna get into that at some point. Any Darkness, we ain't seen you in a month.
What's hell?
It's like a reunion right now.
It's like a motherfucking reunion. I'm back in this bitch. I'm back in this bitch like a reverse newborn. You heard me? What's happening?
Wait, what?
See, here you go with these country slangs that mean absolutely nothing again. See, we didn't miss that. We did not miss that at all.
You a lie. You text me early this morning like, son, we miss you, bro. You gonna be back.
And you know what?
Oh,
you know what? You should have. You really should have been here. Number 2, you should have. You sound like you and dude from last week made sense then, saying shit like that.
I
get it, bro. I get what you're saying, Raw. They have a great conversation.
No, I don't know what
Listen.
you on tonight, Freddie. I'm just saying.
Freddie, listen. I know what I know when I know what I know. I'm just saying.
If y'all
And
don't
now I
understand,
know.
if y'all don't understand the reference, I mean that's on y'all's brains for not being able to decode shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, that's what dude would say too.
Listen. Yep. I'm sorry that I pontificate well and y'all don't understand what I just
Oh
said.
my God.
He said, if I'm coming back for real. Roger.
For real.
You point to.
Hold on, baby. Chill. Hold on. You know what time it is, man. Come on, man. All on the table. A cast unmatched. Get outclassed. Who's not typecast for telling fables. The artifacts just kick back. Enjoy the panel. With true flies in all sides. Get different angles. With grown talk the mission. Small talk is missing. Free talk don't always equate to your addition. The difference. No misstep in intellect. Delayed stress. This podcast's a safe bet. Stay enlightened.
We got a couple guests in the building with us tonight. First up, we got Mr. Call Me Who Else in the building.
What's up? Appreciate y'all for having me. What up, Easy? I see you.
What's crack?
Yes, sir.
Roger that. Tell us a little about yourself real swift like.
I have my hands in a little bit of everything. I pretty much call myself a creative, owner, teacher. I do hip hop, produce, engineer, mix, make videos, you name it, I probably do it. I'm also a Spotify curator as well. But my favorite job of all is being a dad. So that's my big one right there. Dad of two beautiful girls.
That's what I'm talking about. I like
Yes,
to
sir.
hear it.
Hashtag girl
I like
dad.
to hear it.
Yes, sir. Girl dad for real.
Next up, we got Sophia Murder in the building. What's up with you?
Hey everybody, how y'all doing?
What up?
Hey, how you?
Tell everybody about yourself a little bit.
I'm Sophia with 2 A's. I am from St. Louis. I'm a rapper. You probably see me go viral a couple of days ago for fighting and shit, you know what I'm saying? Cause gotta live that shit you rap, you know? And but yeah, that's about it. I'm young, I'm tired, and I love the hoes.
I love them too.
Okay. That's what's up.
Intro. That's how you walk in the building, right?
Who asked you whoop this time?
Facts. We got Chop in the building. What up, son?
What's going on? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me? What's going on, everybody? We doing intros too. What's up? I'm Tevin. Tevin El Chapo, friends call me Chop. Videographer, podcast producer, also hip hop enthusiast. You know, I don't let some of the things Robbie's saying about 2 Chainz get to my head, but
I knew you were going. I was waiting for it. I was waiting.
No, he brought it. No, look, he brought it up first. When he asked me to come on, he said he wasn't gonna talk about him. I said,
specifically said I'm not gonna bring the ball up.
I was waiting for it.
I was playing to the audience, man. Y'all go listen to some old 2 Chainz. I was playing Globetrotters with him and Wale, man. He went crazy, man. But Ryan never gonna hear it, but it's okay.
It's almost
but
guaranteed.
Thank you for having me on, nonetheless.
What's understood don't gotta be explained.
It is what it is. All right, so tonight we're talking about classic albums, artists, etc., right? So I figured I'm gonna ask y'all a question because all of us don't know each other but so much, right? And I feel like before we had these type of conversations, we should kind of understand each other's musical palette, if you will. Would y'all say that would make sense?
Sure.
Wait for a response. I thought that was rhetorical.
Right. I thought it was right.
So he was gonna be like, yeah, oh yeah, definitely. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Sure, bro.
So what I did was I got 4 artists, right? And they all are considered regional artists. All of them are a name in the region that they in. And you may or may not listen to them in other regions. But if you know all of these people, I want you to rank them as to who you think are better. Because all of these dudes, in my opinion, have lyrics. But again, I listen to a lot of music. A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't listen to them dudes." I'm just saying. So, Chop, since you claim to know so much about hip hop, rank these four
Little something.
artists when you think of bars, lyrics, anything. How would you rank these dudes?
Bars and lyrics specifically.
If that's how you want to look at it, sure.
Uh,
If you want to look at it another way, that's up to
if
you.
we talking strictly bars, as much as I think Larry June is probably my favorite out of all of them, but he's definitely the lowest out of all of them too. So I want to start there. This is kind of tough, man. I respect Zero a lot. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Texas and everything, but I had a mean Skyzoo phase, bro. And Skyzoo was really rapping. I don't
That's
think he
why
got a
I
lot of
actually
credit
do
for
like
it.
you, man. This is why I like you, man. I like how you breaking this
Bro,
down.
like, so it's kind of tough. And then Peasy is cool. I think I'm gonna throw my biases in, and I'm gonna say Skyzoo 1, 0, 2, then Peasy 3, and Larry June 4.
Okay, I'm actually surprised to hear you say that, to be honest with you. But I'm with you. Easy.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same order for me. Like I don't listen to that much Peasy, bro.
You might want to cut your mic on, cuz.
It's on. He just needed. Never mind.
Facts. Don't say a word, son.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the same order. I don't listen to much Peasy, but I would say he's better than Larry June as a lyricist. And then Skyzoo, the top of the list, followed by Zero. And shout out Skyzoo. That's my dude.
Roger that. Brandon, how you feeling about this list?
I'm not really familiar with Skyzoo or Peasy. I'm more familiar with Larry and Zero, but I have heard great things about Sky and Peasy. So if we're talking lyric wise, I'm gonna go Peasy, Larry, Sky, Zero.
Okay. Freddie, do you even know who these dudes are?
I know that they Skyzoo, PZ, Zero, and Larry June. Okay, because you just showed them to me and they names. And I was just gonna say, I would rank them, you know what I'm saying? One, I think they all bald because why they all got hats on.
Hey,
So that's how I'm gonna rank them like that. Zero, he said fuck me, so fuck him too. He already a zero, so he put
Damn.
himself zero last. Yeah, he did it to himself with the name. Skyzoo, he looked like he pretty cool. Am I saying it wrong or right? Like
that's how you say it.
No, you're right. It's how you say
okay,
it.
like he seemed cool, but he got a little chain. I ain't mad at it. But I ain't mad. And Peasy looked like he's sneaky or something.
Damn, Freddie, you judging by the chain size?
Yeah, by the chain,
this is
just a
all
little
crazy.
bit. Just a little bit. And
You say
Peasy, he
nothing
looked
about
like he
no
up to
music.
something. Hey. And then Larry June, he looked like he cool, but he looked like he drink all the damn time and he talk too fucking much, and then we gonna be talking shit too much and he gonna get on my nerves, but he seemed cool. So I mean, 1, 2, 3, 0.
That's hilarious. Larry's
that's
probably the literal opposite of everything you just said.
Facts.
probably I don't know. So
But I
no,
will say-
to
I
answer
will
your
say about Larry,
question.
though,
Mm-hmm.
no, I ain't know Larry had hair either. To be honest with you, he keep wearing them hats, and I saw him in the video. I'm like, damn, you have a whole head of hair behind that. That's crazy.
See, hat fishing. But to answer your original question, Raw, nah, I don't know none of these dudes, and I wish them well. They sound like they great lyricists. I don't, they all from New York. I could tell.
They
No, they're
definitely not all from New York.
Also
They not.
Yeah.
Why he got
No.
Brooklyn? Why he
Not
got
even
the
close.
Brooklyn Dodgers thing on? Why
You
he
know
got New
that's
York
LA
on his
too.
hat?
The
Fact.
Brooklyn Dodgers.
So I picked
The
each one of
Brooklyn
them.
Dodgers.
I picked one from each region. So Skyzoo is East Coast, PZ Midwest, Zero's from the South, Larry Jones West
Why
Coast.
PZ got a New York on his head?
Because the Yankee fitted is like the most legendary, classically worn fitted of all
All
fitted.
right. Okay. Well, y'all all
It's a
fool
it's a
me.
culture thing.
I bet.
Yeah,
Don't you know I don't know nobody then. I'm over here in my Freddy hole.
Roger
So
that.
Different.
Sophia,
Roger
do you
that.
know him and how would you rank him?
I don't know them. I ain't never heard them. But
Not
if
even
I had to
Peasy?
rank them, I put 0 first because I like the way how he spelled his name out. That lets me know right there he be rapping. Um, but yeah, I just have to look them out. I can't even rank them for real. I have to just check them out.
Hey yo.
I
Us
highly
ladies is
suggest.
like I like how he spelled his name. I don't like how his hat
But
is.
this is what
Like
y'all do. This is what y'all do. This is what
yeah, hey.
I watched this the late they was talking about ranking they were doing the college bracket, and the lady literally picked her brackets by what the mascots look like. Now
Mm.
here's what's crazy. That motherfucker almost won.
That's how they be doing.
Almost fucking won. That shit was crazy.
That
That's how
is
they be
crazy.
doing. I know some
But
girls that pick their fantasy team based on what kind of wine they think the dudes drink.
oh wow.
What
It's
kind of wine
it's
they
an all
think the
girls
dudes drink?
fantasy league, and they pick
That's
the
funny.
players based on they match them with whatever wine. So they're like, oh, he looked like he drank Pinot Grigio. So like each round is like this the Pinot Grigio round. So like he looked like he drank Pinot Grigio, so I'm picking him.
That's what they telling you. They talking about what wine pairs nice with that taste of type of dude.
I don't give a fuck
Think
what they
about
talk
it.
about. That's
That's
how they pick.
weird.
That's crazy. But Sophia, I highly recommend you listen to all these dudes, for sure. All to me, I'm surprised you don't know Peasy when coming out the Midwest. That I'm kind of surprised though. Hectic.
I only know half the list. I'm not even gonna hold you. I only know Zero and Larry June. Larry June to me, he's definitely not a car artist. And what I mean by that, I break my artists down by where I can listen to them at
Mm,
comfortably. Larry June is definitely a crib artist. Like you gotta listen to him when you like at the crib or something. That's for me. Um, Zero, he's cool. So, like I said, I can't even really rank him for real, because I only know two of them. So that'd be a
you don't want to go based off how many hats they
nah.
be
I ain't
wearing.
gonna go based off of fits and chains and how long a chain is, and nah, I'm not doing none of that.
3 of them got t-shirts on.
Yeah, right. Nah, I'm not doing none of that.
Yeah.
Yo,
Now I
Okay.
will say
Just
Larry
saying.
June. Larry June probably the most casual listen out of all of them. Larry
I
June
can
Yeah,
literally
I can
raps
believe that.
like somebody asked
I
him.
mean, but
He
now
raps like
I'm gonna
somebody
go
asked him
look them
how his
up.
day was.
yeah.
So
right, right,
so
right. So the reason I do like Larry June though, because I also go based off of interviews and podcasts. So if I see someone on a podcast and I feel like they really like show their selves, and I like the fact that he's like a single dad, and you know what I mean. Wherever he goes, his son's with him, type deal, and like yeah. So I respect that a lot.
Yeah, literally
Roger
rapping
that.
how his day is. Like,
Roger
hey, I
that.
woke up this
Right.
morning, and then I light up the J, go check my
Yeah.
bank account, then my 401k. You're like, all right,
Yeah.
like,
Well,
yeah.
that definitely sounds
Yeah.
like one of his songs for sure.
I eat
Yeah.
breakfast.
Sophia,
That's
to
awesome.
you, what makes a classic album? Like, what criteria do you make to say, all right, this is what makes the album? Let's not even go classic. What makes a great album to you? Like, how do you break down which album is great compared to others?
When there's no skips and you could play it at any celebration, any event, that's a good album. My opinion, I think Drake album is a classic. Take Care, because it's no skips. You can play it anytime when you're happy, when you're sad. You can play it at weddings. You can play it at birthday parties. I feel like yeah, Drake is an example.
Okay. Chop?
Um, I think that's a great way of explaining it. I mean, classic album to me, something that has staying power. I think a lot of albums, especially nowadays, come and go. So something that you can come back to 10 years from whenever it came back or came out, or something that you can just always resonate with, even outside of like taking the nostalgia play out of it. Like you can just hear it unbiasedly and be like, damn, this is genuinely good. So I give examples of like I would say Big Crit Return to Forever. That's probably one of my favorite projects ever. Um, Classic, I think, just in terms of hip hop sense, like if we're gonna talk it, obviously Illmatic, what I'm saying, probably one of the most classic hip hop albums ever. Ready to Die, I'll throw that in there too. What I'm saying? Like albums that have like real like test of time power. You feel what I'm saying? Even if it's not necessarily critically acclaimed, but even the fan base just knows like, dang, that's the one. Like if I go to a Big Crit concert and he don't perform country shit or some of the songs off Return Forever, then I know like, dang, this ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? And he does it anyway. But it's stuff like that that kind of resonate with a classic album. It's like just the staying power of it.
I got you, Brandon.
I'll answer this quickly in two parts. From an artist's perspective, what I feel like makes a great album is one, me knowing that it's perception and the listener's ear, with everyone having so many opinions. So if it feels good to me as an artist, if the album feels good to me, I feel like it will feel good to others. But from a person, I think it goes to what relates to my lifetime. Is it the soundtrack to my life while I'm out going to go get money, while I'm out playing with my kids, while I'm out? Is this album or this music outside of my own? Does this feel like a soundtrack to my movie? If they make a movie about us, could you picture this? While you're riding down the street, if they make a movie about you. So I think it just comes to, does it relate to me?
Okay.
I could dig
Beck?
that.
So for me, it's a combo of what other people have said. Definitely, how it makes you feel when you listen to it. You know what I mean? Or some of us got those, I'm gonna listen to this particular person because I'm about to go hit a lick. You know what I mean? Or, I'm about to go party. I'm gonna throw this on real quick to get myself hype. Or I'm about to, sit at the barbecue. So this is the album I go to. Um, that nostalgia feeling, like what Chop said, today's music don't have that. So like we could listen to Thug Motivation 101 and remember exactly where we were when we first heard it. You know what I mean? And how it made us feel. Reasonable Doubt, 36 Chambers, like Get Rich or Die Trying. Like we could tell where we were in those periods of time and reminisce and be like, damn. And then if you with someone that was out with you or outside with you when those albums come, y'all start comparing notes and be like, yo, were you doing this at this time? And da 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 da. So that's definitely one. I would definitely say cohesion. I like a very cohesive album. If the album seems like it kind of like, and some people know what I'm talking about when I say it. If the album feels like it stutters or it doesn't flow correctly, it leads, I would say the new J. Cole. It had some hits on it, but the way it was put together didn't didn't gel right, for a lot of listeners. So a lot of listeners didn't like it because of the way it was arranged. So cohesion is definitely something that's very important. And I miss the days of A&Rs because A&Rs used to be able to tell an artist, hey, I don't think you should put this here. You should put this back here. And I think you should move this forward and you should do this a little bit different. We no longer live in the days of A&R. Everyone, knows what they know and do what they do. So here we are.
Makes sense. Easy?
I would agree with most of what everybody, actually all of what everybody said so far, but I take it back to a classic album. To me, a great album is like a book. It's like reading a book, right? If I can walk from beginning to end and stay in context, stay in the story, and there's a climax, there's uh there's drama, like for example, Good Kid, Mad City. The first time I heard that album, I could see it. And I could see everything that was happening throughout that day or weekend or whatever time frame it was that Kendrick was describing from beginning to end. I could see it all, and everything matched together. So it was like reading a book. Then you have like some albums are classic because they grab you right away and they pull you in. And so, like a Illmatic, it was jarring. It was great production, lyrically, and everything, but like the way that album just grabs you and you just like, what the fuck was that? The Chronic, like all these different reasons that make these albums great, but it comes back down to, is it cohesive? Is it have replayability? Does it stand the test of times? Does it resonate with the audience? So all of those things combined will make it, I think, a classic. There's some great albums that are not classics though.
We're gonna get to that for sure. Fred?
Okay, so I'm just gonna piggyback on what everybody said pretty much. It's it tells a story, but for me, it's a classic because it's poetry. It's a story, it's an art form, it's something, it's cohesive. And I think what no one else has said maybe is it's a collaborative effort because you see the artist, the band, but then you see the songwriter, and then you see who produced it, the engineer, and you like, hey, yo, this is dope. Like all these people came together and made this, and it was poetry, it was a story, and that's a classic. Like for me, Riding Dirty, UGK, as soon as it comes on, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm in there. It's skits from, the prison talking stuff. You know what I'm saying? Then it got that real deep bass guitar come in. You know what I'm saying? I love that album. But it's something like it draws you in. And I'll always keep saying Lauryn Hill's uneducation, the uneducated, whatever. Yeah. The miseducation. That's what it is. I'm thinking uneducated kids and shit. The miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Like it tells a story and then it takes you on like, a journey. It takes you on the highs and the lows and then it mellows out at the end. Erykah Badu has a couple of albums like that, but I ain't gonna call them classics. They just my favorites. But that's what I think. What everybody said, but the collaborative effort as well. Cause like Doggy Style. And it's iconic though too. It makes it a classic because it stands the test of time, but it's like at the time it was iconic because it was revolutionary of some sort, but also it stood the test of time because now it's like, wow. No, you don't think so, Big Sophie? Big Sophia? No? You don't think it's revolutionary like Doggy Style wasn't? It was.
I'm just not a Snoop Dogg fan. I'm gonna be honest. I ain't never heard not one hard verse from that man. So him making a classic album is hard to believe.
So here's the thing. I'm not saying that I'm not a hardcore Snoop fan, but at the time what it was, it's like Eazy-E in them. You feel me? That was iconic because it was revolutionary at the time. So Doggy Style was something nobody ever heard before and everybody got on it because you got Dr. Dre producing it. You know what I'm saying? You got everybody else jumping on it. So that's what I'm talking about. Not necessarily saying I'm not a Snoop fan. Like they over here talking about Reasonable Doubt. I guess so. I'm not a Jay-Z fan. Ben.
So but Freddie, I definitely understand what you I missed getting an album and the first thing you do is you put it in your cassette or your CD or whatever, and then you take the art cover and you start flipping through it to see what the songs were, and then who wrote what and who did this and who was on the.
And you'd be surprised, like what they wrote that. Oh snap!
And
like,
that was like
dope.
That was like our thing, back then was to look at who produced because. It was like even like, okay, we know who the artist. Can you name the producer? Who produced this track? Who wrote to this track?
You could
Like
name
that
them
was like
now.
our thing back in the day.
You
What
could name them
samples
now.
is
They
it?
say they naming every damn beat.
I know.
Yeah, to a certain degree.
We
But
produce it from one beat.
today, most of the producers that saying their name ain't even the main producer that did the track.
Facts.
They the figurehead.
They the
So,
I was gonna
Right.
say they the figurehead. They ain't even engineering it. They don't even know how to use the buttons.
to lean
They
on
just
something that pretty much all y'all said, right? It's something I was thinking about yesterday, right? When you think about classic albums, you say, well, an album that has no skips, right? But that don't mean every time you listen to the album, you're not going to skip some songs because you only want to listen to certain songs. So to say that an album with no skips, an album can't have no skips to be a classic, how can that be when you don't want to hear all those songs every single time?
There's some albums with no skips that are not classics. It's just
It's
fun.
a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of them, in my
They
opinion.
listen to.
Like for me, Dog Food is one of my favorite albums ever, right? And I could put that album on, and I can't. It's very rare that I'll hit a skip button on Dog Food. I just let that joint play. Now, here's what's crazy. When I say that, most people be like, Dog Food, it ain't no hot bars on that whole song. And I'm like, I mean, on that whole album. I'm like, I beg to differ. I think every song on there go crazy. Rather it's the beat, rather it's what they saying, rather it's the logic behind what they talking about, rather it's the visual of what you getting behind what they saying.
I
Like a
think
classic to me, you see it. It's like
I think
it's like listening to a movie.
I think
Yeah.
that's why this conversation was so interesting to me. This topic because like I said, it all comes down to perception and the listener's ear. What could be a
Mm-hmm.
classic to you
Mm-hmm.
might not be to me. Doggy Style was the only classic Snoop Dogg has ever done to me. That's the only album that I ever rocked with. To me, that's a classic. But to others, nah, hell no. People like hell no. I don't like Reasonable Doubt. Yes, the lyrics is there, but Jay Z never did anything that I could relate to. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't no big mafia boss. I wasn't going around, with Picasso and all that. I wasn't doing all that. So it's like I never, and I grew up on the West Coast. So it's like it's the perception and the person. Because if we did a survey of each one of us, we're all gonna probably answer different albums. You know what I'm
We
saying?
all
So
from different areas. We all from different
so
eras.
I'm gonna go ahead and answer.
Things
I'm
we
gonna
don't
go
like.
ahead and answer that. It's a trick question because is there really such thing as a classic album when there's so much different opinions, especially during this day where we live in a pick apart generation where everybody picks apart. Well, I like the artist, but I like the beat. Well, I like 21, but I don't like Drake. We look for shit to pick apart. So it's like, is this really something we can answer because we all come from different backgrounds. We all have been through different things. Like Eminem was a classic artist until I grew up and I was like, what the fuck is this man talking about? But as a kid, that nigga was my superhero. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
He,
we
Eminem
grow.
said random shit that just sounded crazy. So you was like, holy
Yeah,
smokes,
and as a
what
kid,
am I
that shit was
hearing right
dope. As
now?
a kid, that shit was dope, especially like the eyelids and the graphic shit he was saying that he wasn't supposed to, like in Columbine that happened in college, like all those things. But as you grow up, you sometimes outgrow artists or grow into artists. So it's what makes a classic album to me is the person and the perception. So I'm gonna go ahead
What,
and just
Okay.
answer that.
what's an album that you would say is classic that 99% of the population of humanity probably wouldn't agree with?
I would say the NWA album, which almost nobody agrees with me on that. And the reason why I say the first NWA album is because it opened up so many other doors. Um, Another classic album I would go with, like I said, the Snoop Dogg album, the Doggy Style album. I grew up to that album, you know what I'm saying? So I can't get that one out of my head. And then a
You
lot of
just
people
named
don't
two
agree with
albums
that
that
one.
most people would agree that was a classic, though.
Mhm.
You just named two albums that a lot of people would agree was a classic.
There's a lot of the first NWA album people a lot really didn't want to say it's a classic because the production wasn't really there. The bars wasn't like the revolution was there. That's what I'm like saying. Like if you're a revolutionary, you're gonna hear NWA one way. If you're a gangbanger, you're gonna hear NWA another way. If you're the police, you're gonna hear them another way. So it's like the perception, and then Dr. Dre, the one that people agree with me is the Chronic album. That was because of what it led to with the Chronic tour and everything else. So it's like what does the album like for me? What was a classic? What does the album bring with it? What kind of doors is it opening? What kind of history is this shit creating? So it's like I don't know. I'm an overthinker when it comes to that. But at the end of the day, it's still opinion, perception, and the listener's ear.
Yeah,
That's
it's
that.
interesting you say that because when we think about
Yeah.
like the genre of classical music, right? Why is that shit called classical music? Nobody really gave a fuck what Beethoven was doing until that song or that instrumental turned into something else, and now it's classified as classical. And
Mm-hmm.
so I dig that what you're saying is like, what doors does it open up? What impact does it have on society, on the art itself?
So
Chop,
right now
hold
we
on,
Yeah.
talking
Chop. What say
about
you? What say
oldies.
you? Chop. What say you? What's an album that you feel is a classic that most people won't agree with?
Man, that's kind of tough. Like every classic album in the hip hop zeitgeist I've heard and appreciated for what it is. Um, I already said Return of Forever. I just feel like a lot of people didn't really hear that album for real. Big Crit doesn't get as nearly much recognition for being one of the best lyricists, producers, songwriters coming out of the South. Aside from that, that other people wouldn't agree with, I don't know. I would say to Cal. I don't know how people feel about it. I was heavy into shout out to Meth. I feel like that doesn't get talked about a lot. I know somebody just said "The Cool" by Lupe. That's one of my favorite albums ever, and I don't know
Nice.
what happened, but we just don't act like Lupe don't even exist no more. You see what I'm saying? But
You gotta
Because he
remember,
doesn't.
Lupe don't talk
The
about
Cool
bitches.
is,
He don't talk about crack. He don't talk about killing people. So to a lot of people, he don't got
yeah.
bars because he don't talk about the typical black people shit.
And then
That's
another thing
crazy that
too,
you
I
named it
think
the black people
what's
shit.
been going on.
Because that's how people look. No, I done had so many people tell me if you ain't talking about going to jail, selling crack, or fucking bitches, then you ain't saying nothing. I'm like, that's just
For
crazy.
real.
That's
That's
crazy
the
to me.
only life there
Nah, for
is,
sure. And
though.
I think one thing too that's happening in our society too is that we're getting a lot of revisionist history, which is pretty much like, left is right, right is left, right? So all the things that people said were amazing, now we gotta look at with a super tight lens, like, oh, was it really that good? Or and then all the things that was bad back in the day, now they were just, unseen gems or something like that. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's just always the narrative always switching up every generation or so,
Goalposts
you know what I
constantly
mean?
moving.
But yeah, it's always constantly moving. So, I think with Lupe, especially like the cool, I literally go back to that album all the time. Like, and I think that another thing that when we talk about, unskippable songs, another thing we kind of got to talk about too is how some songs can be just so popular that it kind of makes them skippable after a certain point. Like, when you heard it so many times, like I think of like Kendrick Lamar, Damn, right? I never play Humble anytime I go back to the album. And that was a good song. Shout out to Mike Will made it on the beat.
Facts.
But I'm never playing that ever again in my life.
Damn.
So it's stuff like that.
Nah,
I've
I
heard it. I
feel it
heard it
because I've
plenty of
done that.
times. I heard it
It
a
plays a lot
bajillion
on the
times.
radio.
Right. They done
You
played
know
it
what I'm
out.
saying?
No, I feel you 100%. I don't really like listening to the
Exactly.
radio songs on no albums either. So I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
Sophia, I mean, yeah, my bad. Sophia,
Uh-huh.
album that you feel is a classic, but a lot of people might not agree with you. And with you being the youngest on the panel, it makes it easier for older people not to agree with you. So
Yeah, because I
that changes
disagree with a
things
lot of
too.
stuff y'all saying. So it's okay. So I'm gonna go back with Drake and Take Care. I feel like that's a classic album. I feel like Nicki Minaj, my opinion, I feel like Nicki Minaj Pink Friday is a classic album because I can actually listen to that song and not skip the whole album cleaning up the house or something. And I'm gonna go with Cardi B, Invasion Privacy. I feel like that's a classic album as well. Because
Okay.
all them songs that was on that album became like some hits for her.
So those albums to
Hold on, let
you,
me let me ask y'all.
go ahead.
Let me ask y'all something real quick. So, speaking of Nicki and Pink Friday, I think Pink Friday was a solid album. I wouldn't call it a classic, but I respect anybody who does. Does public perception as that changes on the person who made the album, does that change how we feel about their classic albums? Because I think of Kanye and all the stuff he been on lately. You know, it makes it hard to go back and be like, damn, this is the same dude who did Graduation. This is the same dude who did College
Yeah,
Dropout.
I mean, I've been aboard
Well, I
since
got
'07, so I look at her different. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just, I don't know.
So
I can't be with her when she right, and I can't be with her when she wrong because people got their opinions, and it's the hate train of Nikki. And even when you say the fact, somebody else got to come with something that she else did, and it's horrible than what you already try to defend. So it's like, yeah.
I was gonna say that I think you always have to separate the art and the person because we're always growing. What we believed in 10 years ago, we might not believe 10 years ago, and you have to look at it from a psychological place. When Kanye West lost his mom, he lost his mind. So you're
Yeah.
never gonna get the old Kanye West back because you don't have his mom and you don't have a mother figure. Kris Jenner was not that mother figure that he was looking for, and that probably broke his heart even more. So, and it's like as with age, we get different. Like Muhammad Ali was the greatest of all time, but at the end of the day, he has someone probably wiping his ass. You know what I'm saying?
And
Like
Nicki Minaj lost her
you
father.
change.
She could have been lost in her mind when she was losing her father.
You know what
so
I'm
I'm
saying?
gonna say this.
You
Like,
definitely change.
I'm definitely gonna say this. R. Kelly now. No, but 12 Play was a classic, and Chocolate Factory. I would love to play like woo woo like Chocolate Factory. That to me, that's a classic. That's a no skip. You know what I mean? So it's like I feel it, even though I won't play them. I won't play them now. But you know what I mean?
I think the other thing too is like when you find out what the song is actually about, that shit can
Yeah,
throw you too.
it changed.
Like when you know what I'm saying?
And
Like when
you
you
always say
actually
no, bro.
like
You always
especially
say no. But
especially with
it,
Because
the
it's
it
easy.
that one,
does.
Here's the thing.
especially
But
It's
not
especially with
easy
that
for
listening to
you
artist
R.
to
Kelly now is
hold on,
crazy.
hold on, time
with that
out,
artist
time out,
David.
Can't
time
deny
out,
the
man,
man
David.
time
talent.
out. And this is not just an R. Kelly thing. This is a music thing in general. It's easy for you to say, "Oh, well, this is what he meant 10 years ago," because you see what he is now. You don't fucking know
No,
that.
no,
No,
I'm
no, no.
not saying
Wait
when
a
it comes to
minute.
R.
Wait a
Kelly.
minute.
I'm not
Wait
talking about
a
R. Kelly.
minute.
I'm talking about the David situation. When you go back and look at the David situation and you look at the music videos and then it matches up with the same thing, or you talking about a murder and it matches up with the
It's
same thing.
easy for us to say what looks like what today that happened before. It's easy for us to do that. That's why I say we can't keep going back in time and saying, well, this is what they meant and this is what happened.
So
Because we don't
raw,
fucking know. It's easy.
raw.
And
I'm a
hindsight is a motherfucker.
hold on.
I'm not gonna
Hindsight
say
is
this
a
is what it
motherfucker.
was.
If
stop.
you're
I'm gonna
making a
stop
music
you.
video, and it's literally the same thing, it's like
Yeah.
if you a rapper, you're like, I killed that boy off the exit of 45, and they go dig that nigga up off the exit of 45.
Nah,
Yeah, that's what
no,
he's
no, no,
talking
no.
about.
Yeah.
Listen,
So
it's
I
one
I'm a,
thing.
hold on,
It's
raw.
It don't.
one
It's
thing
two
to
flip.
confess in a song. It's another thing to say, well, this is what he meant in the song.
Nah,
That's
but
two different things.
you
Yeah,
mixing
I
up
feel like that's
two
different. That's
concepts.
different.
Bro. What you doing is trying to take like something that literally happened and motherfuckers is like making art that imitates something they actually did versus somebody making a song about something and then something happens in their life and then we go back and be like, oh, so like for example, Michael Jackson, right? The Dirty Diana song. We could all assume that was about Diana Ross, right? Even though it wasn't. But if we found out, oh, Michael Jackson and Diana Ross was real close, maybe they dated and she broke his heart. Dirty Diana about her when it ain't about Diana Ross. Who knows who Mike was talking about, but that's our perception. But then when
You would
you
know it's a
have
lot of people that
You know who is it about?
age ain't none but a number,
I think it was about her.
Hey,
and,
easy. You
huh?
know who it is about? It was
Not
about she was thick. Because in the beginning he said, girl, take your weight off of me. Just
Freddie.
saying.
You can eat your ass whooped, Freddie.
Hey, all right, listen, let's get into our first segment today because I see y'all about to start mobbing.
Hell, we like them thick, like a bowl of grits. First of all, you already know she don't give a fuck. Second, you can best believe she gonna talk her shit. And third, it's Freddie. Who the fuck knows where this about to go? But let's get into Celebrity Wire with Dunkosaurus Rex herself, the Foxy, Freddie Montaco.
Well, just to let you guys know, it's about to be summer in, like, you know what I'm saying, a couple weeks. So, that lasted long enough for this relationship between Clay and Meg Thee Stallion. Because I'm gonna talk about it. Like earlier today, Meg Thee
Yeah.
Stallion, as you guys know, just posted, like, posted a very kind of cryptic message on her social medias. Last summer, they had the internet all a gag. Like, her and Clay was hugged up, really cozy up, and she was meeting mom and everything like that. And everybody was talking about, well, Clay gonna get his heart broke and everything like that, because hot girl summer, hot girls up 10, 20,000 points and everything. Meg can't do nothing. But what did Meg do? She focused on her career. She was in Chicago on Broadway or some shit like that. I don't know. But now, you know what I'm saying? She was in her soft girl era. All the fans were saying she in her soft girl era. And now she, through a cryptic social media post, we now know that Clay ain't shit. He cheated on her. You know what I'm saying? That's allegedly what happened. I don't really know, because I just looked these things up and it happened today, and my girl Meg didn't call me and tell me, so I don't know. But isn't that interesting how everybody thought and assumed it was going to be Meg Thee Stallion that was going to do something, and it was actually Clay? But at the same time, like, you got the hot girl of the summer, you know what I'm saying? Like, the hot girl, like, she made the label, the hot girl, you know what I'm saying, of the summer. She had sauces, hot girl summer sauces at Popeyes and shit. And Clay, like, he light skinned, he going to cheat, you know what I'm saying? Like, he a ball player, like,
Yeah.
come on. He a light-skinned ball player with money. He going to cheat. Bruh.
Hall of
His
Famer.
name Clay with a K. His name Clay with a K. Come on. Clay with a K. Anyway, so moving on, we was just about to talk. We just mentioned David, the singer David, has been arrested for the murder of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez of Lake Eslanor. I'm probably pronouncing the location incorrectly. I apologize for that. Found decomposing in his abandoned Tesla a day before what would have been her 15th birthday. Condolences out to the family, because this case is getting, like, weirder and weirder as it goes. This gentleman is only 21. He had pled not guilty on Monday after he's only 21.
And she was 15.
And she was 15.
About to turn
Yes,
50.
bro.
Keep going.
Anytime you see stuff like this, I'm gonna keep telling y'all, 62 million men, American men, logged onto that website to see how to rape and not let they victims know. And their victims were partners, you know what I'm saying? Not let their victims, who are their partners, know that they have been sexually assaulted by their men. And 62 million men went on that website. But anyway, back to this. Singer David, 21, Monday pled not guilty to first-degree murder of Miss Hernandez, the would have been 15-year-old. Prosecutors say that they had had a sexual relationship, and the young lady was threatening to expose it. And that's the motive of why he killed her. There have been reports of things being found at his house, like chainsaws and, like, he said today or tonight on our podcast, the gentleman, they found all kinds of, like, photographs and certain things. Very disturbing, if you ask me. And it's just very interesting that man, to what degree do we watch people? You know what I'm saying? Like, when they say crazy shit, like, remember Eminem said all that stuff, like, burn your house down and tie you up in it. And, like, we didn't put Eminem on a mental watch. We didn't think he was the school shooter. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though he was saying and expressing those things, we didn't think it was serious. But now, like, maybe we're thinking things are different now. I don't know. But moving on to the very final story of this evening, Kimora Lee Simmons is divorcing her estranged husband, Tim Lesner. He has been serving the last 12 years of his marriage. He's been in prison for financial fraud. All right. He filed for divorce. He's still in jail and he filed for divorce on April 20th. You got to be in some type of crazy marriage for that. Like, I'm in jail and I don't want to be with you no more. And he filed for custody of their 11-year-old son. And it's just crazy. He has requested to keep all separate property, including earrings, jewelry, personal effects, and all of that of the marriage. He admitted in court that he has falsified divorce documents to marry Kimora Lee in 2014 while she was while he was still married to his previous wife, Judy Chan. So like, it seems like they all fraudulent. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of them fraudulent. I don't even think they getting married for money. I mean, for love or anything. But it's crazy that now he's filing for divorce, and even though he's in jail, because like, I feel like Kimora Lee Simmons, not saying that she deserves it or nothing, but like, you know what I'm saying, maybe like it's a little bit of karma coming back on her, because like maybe she did some shady stuff anyway. But anyway, that's enough with Celebrity Wire and Matako. Matako, I'm gonna bounce it on out right now. Back to you, Raw.
So, Freddie, you think the reason that he divorced her is because he's in prison?
Oh, I don't know. He
Like,
might have found somebody in there who's worth, you know what I'm saying, loving up on. You know, it's 2026, and he's probably like, you know, I found love.
he gonna be in there for a
Love
while, right?
in an awkward place. I
He
found
gonna
love like Rihanna.
he
I
gonna
don't
be in
know.
there for a while, right?
But how he gonna ask for custody of his son? Like, then he gonna have him on the weekend visits? Like, he gonna bunk with him?
He could be a
Like, on
wife
the
and a
weekends?
father.
Yeah, he could be. I don't know how that would work, Easy. You got to tell me about that life. I
I
don't
wouldn't know
know.
nothing about that life.
Me neither.
You a
Hey
damn
man, all I
fool.
know is shout out to Clay Thompson, man. Shout out to Clay. I'm in Meg's DMs
Shout
right
out to
now.
Clay.
She left
What
me
you
on sent.
mean?
She left
Oh,
me on
okay.
sent. I'm just waiting on a response. I said, hey, big head, just waiting on her to say what's up back. You know what I'm saying? I'm in there.
Roger that.
But
Well,
he a damn fool, boy. Well, he really played the game smart. Though. I ain't gonna lie. You get you a baddie that everybody know, then you attract more
I
baddies,
mean,
then you leave the one that you was with. It's a terrible game, but it's the way to
is it
play.
I
You
though?
know
mean,
what I'm saying?
he's doing it right. It's the hot girl summer back over. He played the hot girl summer. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah,
winter
it's
summer
I'm just,
chick.
all I have to say is you made a song called WAP and you can't keep not one man. That's crazy.
Cause she don't cook, she don't clean.
That wasn't even her verse.
No,
That
it
was
was
That
not.
was
Corey.
not.
That
That
was
was
It
not
not
It's
her
the
her
same
She
verse.
verse.
endorsed
song.
it.
It's the
Hey,
same
Don't
but
She
do
song.
that.
it's
endorsed it.
crazy that it's
Don't
crazy
do
that
Megan.
both
It's
of them
co-sign.
still can't
Because
keep a
this is
man.
not
It's
That's
the woman's
crazy.
co-sign.
fault.
They still
This
got
is not the
she said.
woman's
Same
fault.
difference.
Yo.
Look,
So
here's the thing. I don't even know whose fault it is. It could have been she been working so much and been away, practicing, rehearsing, and focused on her career
Nah.
that
at the end of the
He
day,
should
like
be
I
busy
said,
too.
You seen
like I
them?
he
said,
should be
You
busy
seen them
too.
cooking
I don't
videos?
know.
like I
Y'all seen them
said
cooking
to start
videos? He
the
put
show,
hot Cheetos in every meal.
at
Hot
some
Cheetos in
point you
every
got to
meal. Like,
realize the
no, I'm
part
leaving.
you play, and if the situation keep playing out the same way, it is
Look,
what it is.
y'all realize Holly Berry been divorced what 2 times now, 3?
And
Yeah,
they
and
say
Nia
she the
Long got
finest.
cheated on.
Holly Berry, fine as hell. They
Again,
say she crazy as shit too.
J
again,
Lo.
you
She
got
don't
to
date
look
white
at
men.
the part that you
Yeah,
Nia Long
play
got cheated
don't
on
bring
too.
J Lo up in here. Don't bring up the Thanos of engagements.
I'm just saying, all these quote unquote baddies, right? Everybody like, oh, the hottest woman on the planet, but
You need a solid
you
5. Give
need
me a
more.
solid 5. She probably got a great
Basically, men
personality, know how
cheat.
to cook,
You
know how
need
to do all
more.
that.
Basically, all men cheat.
You need more
Don't
than a
matter the
pretty
tax
face and a
bracket,
fat
all
ass.
men cheat.
Can we
Not
talk
all.
about music? Can we talk about
Not
music?
necessarily. They wouldn't say
Talk
that.
about musicians.
Yes, we
I
need
said I was
music.
done with Celebrity
I can
Wire. I
see
was
where this is
done.
about to go already. And we ain't got to go there.
Just saying.
It is what it is. So hectic. Do
Wait,
you
wait,
think?
I'm just gonna add one of these before you go. You've seen Dolly Parton, right? She's been
Okay.
married the longest, 56 years. Just saying.
Yeah.
She's the longest, I think, female celebrity that's been married, and Dolly Parton's a weird looking girl. So Sometimes I don't think it got nothing to do with no look. Sometimes it's just it's just got
The
I don't
personality.
know.
look.
I don't know
Somebody
because
Red
somebody
ain't
the
always
thing
somebody
green.
kept her down for 59 years.
I think Dolly got real paper though, because I'm in Tennessee right now. They got streets, they got hospitals named after Dolly Parton. Like what the
Yeah,
come on, bro. That's real
Dolly got
money. So
money
I
simple as
ain't leaving that either.
She got
I
money.
ain't leaving that either. That's
Dolly
different.
a
Yeah, but
mob
50
hog.
years.
Meg Thee
Let me
Stallion, Meg
see.
Thee Stallion
She been
money and Dolly
she been
Parton money ain't the same.
59 years they've been married, man, and they look happy. I just looked it up. They look happy.
A lot of these
She's a
celebrities don't necessarily get married for love. They get married because it looks good to say you
Well,
got a certain person on your arm. It is what it is with that
they
one.
say
Yeah,
marriage is a
that's true.
business agreement, a business arrangement when you
Yeah,
get certain money.
Yeah.
pretty much. So hectic. Do you think people use the word classic too much, too often, too fast? And do you think it should be a time limit that an album has been out before you can say that if it's a classic album?
I don't necessarily say a time limit, but yes, if you're talking about an album that drops in 2026, and you be like, yeah, that's a classic, that's less than likely. I'm just, I'm just saying. We had albums that, like, okay, case in point, the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. That album played on the radio for like 2 fucking years. It had longevity. Times were different back then. We were still listening to Michael Jackson Thriller like it came out yesterday. You know what I mean? Albums back then used to have some longevity. So by the time it really, percolated, like it's been there. So it's like, yeah, hey, that is a classic album because everyone from different genres, different walks of life has listened to this album and appreciate what it is. Um, Do we say classic too often? I don't I don't think so. Um, because I don't know of any album that anyone's really talking about in like the 2010s that was like a classic album. You know what I mean? It's very, very, very rare. It's normally anything before 2010, someone is like, yo, that album was a classic. And, okay, it's
Is
been on the
that
shelf for a while.
is that based off the people you're around or just in general? Because the people you're around may not feel like that, but people that grew up in the early 2000s might
That's cool
think
for
that
them.
those
We don't we
2010
don't take
albums
we
are
don't take
classic.
advice from kids.
because I mean, I'm just gonna
I
say
wasn't
this.
living in
She
them,
just
so I was a kid
Hold
in the
on, real quick,
2010s.
real
I
quick,
was a kid in the 2010s.
real quick. Sophia, how you feel about what he just said?
Yep.
Yeah,
You said
nah,
something
I don't
about
know about
2000.
that.
Ain't all of us kids. I was born in 2000, 000, and I'm 26. And Drake album was like in the 2010s, and I consider that as a classic album. Pink
That's
Friday
cool.
was in the 2010s, and I consider that as a classic album.
That's cool. We already said
Most of
it's an
Kendrick Lamar's
opinion.
whole run is the 2010s. Most of Kendrick's whole
That's
run is
cool.
the 2010s. Like Section 8 was like
I
2009.
think, but again, here we
So you
go.
saying Good
How
Kid,
it's
Mad City was
generational, though.
classic to Pimp a Butterfly? None of
I
that.
can't say it's generational because he just brought up an album that I still think is classic. Good Kid,
It
Mad
No, but
City.
it's
it
just,
goes
but
back to
like,
what
it's subjective. You know what
And
I'm
numbers
saying?
don't
Just
lie.
the whole world is subjective, and that's all we do is fucking
It said
argue
numbers
and
don't
debate
lie.
about the whole thing.
Numbers lie like a
Numbers.
motherfucker because
And
the
numbers
Migos
Manifest
don't
in
put
a
lie
numbers
because
up.
motherfucker
if we
right now.
okay,
The
why
Migos
I
put up
say that
numbers and they
because
ain't got a
y'all
single
talked about
classic album.
y'all talked about the Lauryn Hill album. The
Mhm.
Culture one
Misunderstood
is all right. Forget it.
last year. That album was like number one. It had hit number one on Apple Music. So that album was still doing numbers. That's the classic album
Just because
because
it
it
hit
still
number
get
Yeah,
one,
but
played
you
to
don't.
also
this
gotta
day.
follow the lawsuits of stuff where labels are
Yeah.
pushing bots and other stuff. Follow the label, follow the paper trail. Numbers can be manipulated
Yep.
nowadays. We know that the facts are out there. If you read, for those that read the papers. Numbers can be manipulated. Once again, I think it goes back to perception and the listener's ear. We all hear things different. We all see things different. I can understand why Pink Friday could be a classic album to her because to a lot of females, that's a classic album that they can relate to. That's some shit that they can get down with. For other people, Kendrick Lamar. For other people, Jay-Z. It's all because look at like the cult following. No matter what Drake drops, no matter what, you've seen what he's been able to do with that little Iceman stunt. People are going to call that album a classic, no matter not even though they haven't heard one fucking song, they're gonna go through that album and be like, "That's a fucking classic." And I think
That's to
it's
the point of
opinion.
what he's
I
saying.
think it's okay. I
Pretty
think
much.
it's okay. I think it's okay to have an opinion. Like if you feel like it's a classic in your heart, run with that shit because
Now, should
you're gonna
people who
disagree with people.
say what's a classic and what not a classic be able to explain why it's a classic and not a classic to them?
Yeah, but even then, like if somebody explains why Drake is to me or someone else, that shit might sound silly, but they're dead ass in their heart serious. So it's like you have to be open to other people's opinions. It goes to the Jordan and LeBron,
Well,
the
I ain't say
LeBron and the Kobe. You know?
now I ain't say 2010 music was garbage because I was living some
No,
of
but
my
there
best
was.
life
I'm just saying
outside in
that.
the 2010s. No. I get you. I got you.
Yeah,
I'm just saying for a lot of us, for a lot of the older ones, past 2010, it's a little scary.
because
Now,
music changed.
was there shit that we bop to and listened to and played on a regular tube? 100%. It's not like we
You-
stopped listening to music after 2010. You know what I
It's
mean? I listen
it's
to
the
new
thing
shit
is
now and be like, oh,
it's
this
a
shit fire.
it's a time thing. It's a shift of time because 2010 is when the world really changed. Movies changed, music changed. Our whole world, some of us that were born in the 80s, 90s, before the 2000s, our whole world changed really big time in 2010s. Auto-tune came out, Pro Tools, different tools to make yourself sound better. Different things came out. So music, it's like, all right, let's go back to our parents and the oldies. For me, my parents hated rap, all fucking kinds of rap, and I couldn't stand oldies. Okay, now I'm a little bit older. I don't necessarily like the new rap shit, but I love my old shits. But it's like at the same time, I got to put myself in a generational place where times change. So there's a classic album every generation. It's just some don't resonate with us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Juice World had classic albums, and all of us might disagree with that, but his following will tell you different. Triple X had classic albums. A lot of us will say no, but his following will go hard. You know what I'm saying? So it
Into the
comes
Spider
to,
Verse. That was a classic album. I did love that
you know,
album.
it comes down to perception and the
You said
listener's
Into the
ear,
Spider Verse.
music theory, all that. It
Yeah,
comes down to it
Miles
scientifically
Morales.
comes down to it.
So I think like if we had an entity that could officially certify albums as classics, I think one of the criteria has to be, and I'm looking at this from the perspective of classic cars, right? There's a age requirement. So you can't say like as dope as the 2010 Phantom might be. In 2026, you can't say the Phantom is a classic car because it's not old enough. So there has to be some form of criteria to classify something as a classic, and I say it starts with at least 25 years run.
Yeah.
You
Normally.
looking at how cars, right?
Yeah.
It has to be 25 years, and if it has stood the test of time for 25 years, even to the point where like it might not be in heavy rotation anymore, but people still talking about it, people still listening to it, new kids are discovering it and being like, yo, this was fire. Y'all used to listen to this back in the day, pops. Like, yeah. So like, there's
Yeah,
gonna
why
be
you had to
some
put your
thing.
old man voice on?
I don't know,
Hmm.
but we can't say something's a classic when it's 2 years old, but we can say this has potential to be a classic.
Yeah.
Like when I heard
I
Good
could
Kid,
agree with
Mad
that.
City for the first time, I was like, yo, this shit is one of the best albums I ever heard. And it is not old enough, I think, to be classified as a classic, but in terms
But
of
it's a good
that
album.
album being great, it is on its
Mhm.
way. It's on its way.
Mhm.
So like, you know, how long did it take Reasonable Doubt to be considered a classic? Right? The
It
album's
was
over
short.
30
Yeah.
years old now, but like we were talking about it as a classic, but I would say today we can actually say like, yeah, that's a classic album, right? I know brand new
Yeah.
JC fans that are like 17 that are like, yo, this album is fire, and I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't know anything about that, but they discovered it when they discovered it, and so
Right.
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 like
Well,
when I was that age.
you're on point because it says that the definition to be anything to be considered a classic should be 20 to 25 years.
Mhm. So I think that
Yeah, I
as
think also too I think also too it creates like the separation between the personal opinions of what a classic is and just the universal appeal of what considered a classic, right? So,
Yeah.
again, I listened to a lot of those albums like 36 Chambers, Illmatic, Ready to Die. All of these things came out long before I was even born, when I was, 15, 16, 17 years old. And nobody told me to, just outright listen
Listen
to
to
them,
him.
especially in my friend group. That's been Future was still on his mixtape era. Young Thug was just coming out.
Yeah.
Nobody was talking about listening to no Nas. You feel what I'm
Nah.
saying? So it was just like it was the appeal of, what makes this so massively recognized in the space. It's what brought me into it, and it's kind of the same thing with what these kids nowadays are doing too. Like when they go back and listen to Illmatic, when they go back and listen to the Wu-Tang, it's like, man, like what is the appeal? Especially now that we have so much media. The RZA doing this thing, just creating movies and docs on the Wu-Tang every 5-6 years or so, just to keep them relevant, things of that nature. The Diddy documentary. I'm sure that the bad boy music got played a little bit. We ain't gonna act like nobody
Oh no.
played.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, see, and that's
So
what they're
it's stuff like that
saying,
will bring it back into the zeitgeist.
and that's what they're saying as a whole. They're saying they saw a tremendous dip in the newer demographics going to concerts. Are they still going to concerts? 100%,
Yeah.
but not in comparison to the legacy acts, because the legacy acts don't all just got the old heads. It got the middle. It got the youngins. It got 3 generations sometimes going to see these legacy acts versus an NBA young boy, for the most part, got the youngins.
Let's not pretend like them ticket prices ain't changed too.
Yeah, them ticket
Oh,
prices
fact.
ridiculous.
Versus ticket prices now.
Yeah, tickets is different.
They ain't got
Tickets
them
is
tabs
different.
to be paying them prices that they want now for them concerts. Like it's
Right.
ridiculous what they charging for concerts now.
Yeah.
First of all, I could sit at home
I
and listen
agree.
to the music, and let's be honest, I could just get on Instagram and watch your concert because somebody going to
Because
show
Yeah.
someone's going to live. Someone's going
Yeah.
live.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
I
And I
paid
think that was also too that
$250.
makes it like more appealing for
Yeah.
that makes it more appealing for the legacy acts though, because it's like you got people like Chris Brown and Usher that can do a concert and everybody will buy a ticket no matter what the price is, because you already know what the catalog gonna be. You already know Chris Brown gonna be doing every
Yeah.
dance you can imagine. You already know what the show gonna be without having to be there. But versus an NBA YoungBoy, what do you know when you go to an NBA YoungBoy show?
Yeah.
That you might get shot? That you gotta wear your bulletproof vest?
Yeah.
It's not really appealing as much.
But see,
Hold
with,
on, wait a minute, because
with
I
live-
did go to Young Boy
See,
concert.
she about to
and
get
I
on
can
y'all
say
ass.
It was
Go
very
ahead, get them,
peaceful.
get them.
It was very peaceful.
So this was that the same concert where they beat up that
Yeah,
old
but
lady?
y'all had hella security guards and police people
Yeah,
there.
it was hella security
FBI
guards there.
agents,
It was.
CIA, everybody was there. ATF.
It was very
Y'all
peaceful.
beat
I
up
got
there's
home
more
safe.
feds than
They beat
fans.
up
So let me
when old
ask
ladies
y'all.
get beat up at the concert. Come on now, dog.
Let me ask y'all
Crazy.
just in general sense, right? When y'all go to concerts, do y'all go for the music or do y'all go for the performance? Because for me,
So, yeah.
it's I can listen to the music, right? But if
Mhm.
I'm like, I want to see this person perform, right? So for example, going to a Nas concert this fall, right? I
Oh,
can listen to
boring.
Nas music anytime. I've never seen Nas live. So I
Oh,
bought
he's not
music,
entertaining.
but I want to see that for myself, right? And if I go
Yeah.
there, I'm like, this just like listening to the shit in the car. I'll never go to
Mhm.
another Nas show. Right? I didn't know who Yellow Wolf was.
Easy. I wanna save you, but go ahead, experience it yourself. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
I'll
dope.
say
The tickets
I'll
already
agree
bought.
with Hectic. I'll agree with Hectic.
Tickets already
Well,
bought.
it's a nice background that you see behind him. He might come out and float
Yeah.
around on a
He'll
thing.
do like this. He might
He'll
do
do
this.
like
He
that.
might give you a bop. He might give you a bop real quick, but
I
that's
mean,
it.
nigga's 50 years old. He can't
It-
do much.
I was gonna say if he there with the Wu-Tang or Method Man or Redman, he'll
Yeah.
he'll do some stuff.
But
He
that's
might bring
how,
Talib out or
like Yellow
something, but
Wolf,
that
for example,
Yeah.
Yellow Wolf opened up for 3-6 Mafia. I never listened to Yellow Wolf's music. I heard of him, but I didn't really know who he was. I became a Yellow Wolf fan because of his performance.
Yeah.
I went and listened to his music, and I still didn't like the music, but I liked when he performed it.
So
He
I would
brought
tell
up-
you the
Hold
best concert I've ever been to, hands down, was Burna Boy. That was a fucking concert. Like that was like it's from the stage presence to the interaction with the crowd to the background. Like he had a background, right? But the background was like a street. And his performers were in the background, like it might be a barbershop, and they're in the barbershop. It was dope. Like it was probably the best. If he comes to Houston, I'm definitely going to see him again. But that was like the best concert I've ever been to. But it goes back to what you were saying, Easy, because we go to the concert because of the music initially, but we want to be fucking entertained. You know, like me, I'm a big Ross fan, but I won't go see that motherfucker again in concert. You fooled me once. I want to be entertained.
Yeah, I agree.
Hold
I
on, real
agree.
quick. You
Because
brought
I
up
seen Nicki
Yellow
Minaj once, and I would never see her again. All she do was stand there and sit her ass down. I would never watch her again. And her tickets cost way too much.
Hey, I would say
for her
too.
just to be standing there.
I've heard
I
people
would
say
say
she put
too.
on a great performance.
I would. I
No.
would say too, like shout out to I'm gonna keep throwing his name out there, Big Crit, man. Like much of a fan of his music I was, he takes a hell of a performance, man. Like he puts his heart and his soul into every song, like it just came out. He just did a performance December of last year in Atlanta. He brought out David Banner. David Banner did the same thing. He doing like a pimp, like it was yesterday. He all in the crowd, jumping around like he ain't 50 years old. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, dang, bro, like really putting that heart and the soul into the performance to give people a real show. And I've been to concerts too where the rapper, it was like a newer artist, and he was just holding the mic like this, just letting the track play. You know, with the words playing behind it, he ain't even rapping the words for real. And I'm just like, man, this does not make me. Like
Everybody's not
the
a
songs
performer.
bring
Some
you
people
in,
are
but the
just a
performance is
rapper.
what keep me. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Correct.
performance is supposed to enhance the songs one way or another. So if the performance is bad, it doesn't really, you know what I'm saying, resonate with the music as much.
Do you think those people are just studio artists? They're not
There is.
performers then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Most
mean?
And this
people
is
are just
Yeah,
studio
for
artists.
sure.
What do you mean?
and this is why we need people. I'm a give some flowers real quick. This is why we need people like Brandon to do artist development, because what you have is a lot of artists that don't have anybody to teach them and show them how to perform. So a lot of times even how to record, because recording is a performance, right?
Facts.
And
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
you need somebody to coach you and show you what your stage presence should be like. Not like a lot of these artists, they don't have managers, they don't have anybody in their corner. They just go up there and then they all
Yeah.
right, y'all shout out my
Yeah, I
name.
think the
Big
internet did that.
Dreads. So
You definitely gotta have
Yeah,
and especially when there's like a million rappers out here,
like
a million rappers, especially if you even get a little bit of following, it's like you gotta do your best to and you gotta be entertaining because if you're not entertaining, you're gonna just sink in with everybody else. You gotta do that to stand out. Shit, even what she
Yeah.
said earlier, she was catching hands for her music. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you got shit. You gotta do what you gotta do to learn and be entertaining because even some of the newer rappers, a lot of those people, if you look at their ticket shows, they continually to go down because certain people won't return. But ever since Usher did that cherry shit, oh, it's been fucking up.
yeah,
Everybody want to go to an Usher show now and get that cherry. You know what I'm saying? There's certain
Yeah.
There's there's
theatrics that has to be
there's
behind
three
it.
performers that most rappers say they hate going behind. Method Man and Redman,
yep.
Busta
Okay.
Rhymes, and DMX.
DMX.
Because
Yeah.
if you ain't coming with the smoke, they were blowing you out of the fucking water. I remember the story of Meth and Red said they were opening up when they were still setting up the chairs for the concerts. You know what I mean? Like that's how early they were going because the
Like,
Hard Knock Life concert was so massive. They had so many people that's when their time was, and they still killed it like it was a million people out here. You know what I mean? So that matters. If you have that kind, I saw Busta Rhymes still to the fact that someone younger in the new generation was like, "Yo, have you ever seen Busta Rhymes concert?" I'm like, "Yeah." What you think about it? They were like, "I didn't know he had this much energy." I'm like, "Yeah." Us old heads ain't old like that no more. You know what I mean? Like they still out here getting it. So
If
salute
you're
to
taking
them.
care of if you're taking care
Yeah.
of yourself and staying in that gym, you know what
100%.
I'm saying? Because you got
No.
other rappers that are not out here. Like you know what I'm saying? We've seen them. I'm not gonna call nobody out on here, but we've seen some of the older rappers that let their. So I'll say one, Bobby Brown. We've seen Bobby Brown
What?
Yeah.
Go
Bobby,
from
come
there
on,
to
man. Bobby
watching the
had
death.
problems
man.
since the 80s. He
Fact.
had problems since the 80s.
If
So
Bobby was doing coke right now, he'd be in better shape.
Fact. Hey, so Easy, you brought up Yellow Wolf, right?
Yeah.
And you know how they say that white rappers are guests in hip hop, if you will. Do I agree with that? No, I don't. I feel like you're a rapper, you're a rapper. Doesn't matter what shade, color, creed you are. If you got bars, you got bars. It is what it is.
There's a
But
I'm a pause you real quick. There's a lot of black rappers that are guests in hip hop. Because what
damn.
makes you a guest in hip hop is you not in this shit for the love of the culture. You in this shit to get something from it and not give anything to it.
Okay, I'm glad you went there.
For the
I'm
money,
fucking glad you went there, son. I want to ask y'all a question, right? It's an artist that me personally, I don't respect at all. That's just me. I don't know how other people feel about it, but a lot of people love this dude's music. Jack Harlow. To me, I feel like this dude is a culture vulture for sure. I don't give a fuck who feels the same way about what I'm saying. Eat a dick. I said what the fuck I said.
he's the John B of 2026.
So the
I
nigga,
agree.
the nigga recently did an interview about his new album that dropped called Monica. First of all, the fact that you named it Monica is a play on you saying my nigga, fuck out of here, son. But during this interview, he specifically said he feel like he got blacker by doing this R&B album that he just put out, right? With that being said, does he or anybody like him, can you look at them and say that they are culturally inappropriate, or do they have potential to be a legend when it comes to hip hop, or potentially to have a legendary album in hip hop?
Can I
I
answer
wanna
this
wait.
first?
I just want to jump on one thing real quick on that thing. With the Jack Harlow thing, it's not just Jack Harlow. It's him and his team, because his publicist had to approve it. His manager had to approve it.
100% agree.
So it's like,
Label.
so that and the label as well, and also labels, benefit off rappers being ignorant
Controversy.
and
Mhm.
yeah. So it's grabbing. So that was a publicity stunt. I've never had the chance to meet Jack Harlow to really see his true self without all the publicity and stuff. But one thing I will say is I've known people, white people that's been born, grew up in LA, and he just as much as black as the rest of us. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
It's the environment you're born in. I know people in New York that are white or albino or whatever, and they got a harder
Say
accent than a
albino.
lot of us. You know what I'm saying? But it's like what you're around. And then I know some black
Accent don't
people.
make you black, huh?
I know some black people that's been raised around nothing but white people, and they're literally Carlton, like dead ass Carlton. You know what I'm saying?
Carlton was
So
still black, son.
yeah, but at the same time, it's being black is something that you have to be educated about.
No,
If you're
being
not,
black is what
if
you're
you're not,
born with.
you're not born. You're not
You can
just
be as
born
educated
knowing.
as you want. You
Look,
can't
I'll
create
tell
and
you,
become black.
I'll tell you why, because I was raised by my white mom, and when I was
Mhm.
a kid, up until I was 13, 14, I didn't know I was black. I didn't know what the fuck I was. I knew my friend was brown, this nigga's white, but I didn't know color. You gotta understand, color was brought to us in the United States. Color was brought to us, and we were objectified by color instead of race or what we are, Italian, German, whatever. Color doesn't exist. And if you see children, even my children are just starting to learn. So yeah, being black has to be educated. I had to be sat down by my black side to understand why people were treating me different. I had to be sat down by the OGs to understand racism. So being black has to be educated. It's a Tarzan theory. There's a thing called the Tarzan theory. You are what your surroundings are. You can't be mad at someone white if they were raised by black people their entire life. How are they going to know anything different if they only know this way? So it all comes into your environment of
We know for a fact that this how he was raised.
that's not for Jack. Like Jack
No,
wasn't,
no, I'm
Jack
asking
wasn't,
you.
yeah.
I'm asking you. Do we know for a fact that's how he was raised?
Jack?
Yeah.
No, we don't. But I'm saying that's not giving him an excuse. But I'm
No,
saying
Jack
I
came from
haven't
a
got a
rich
chance.
family. His people's
Yeah.
rich from Kentucky. I
Yeah.
mean, I fucks with Jack. I like him. I feel like, musically. Now, did I listen to the new album? Absolutely fucking not. You know what I mean? But I'm almost tired of people assigning race to what someone can and cannot do.
So
You know what I
me
mean? That's like
personally, I don't feel like I said
No,
again,
I'm not
I don't
saying
believe
you.
you
I'm
should
not.
be a
I,
you shouldn't
I
be a
didn't
color
say
crazy
you.
or creed to be in hip hop. I don't give a if you
I
got
didn't.
bars, you got bars.
I didn't say you. But most people are going to stand by. Oh, he white, he can't do this, or he black, he can't do this, or they're Asian, they can't do this. I feel
I
like,
think
man,
though.
we're in 2020 fucking six. At this, we still having race conversations. Is crazy to
So
me.
I think one of the things that we have to look at as a society and as a whole is not 1980 no more, where hip hop was solely a black and arguably Puerto Rican thing, right? There's debate about that. I think the Puerto Ricans were a big part of the origins of hip hop too, but it's hip hop is 50 years old. Hip hop has now been not only embedded into black culture and urban culture, hip hop is embedded into American
Hip
culture.
hop is the
So
biggest genre of music on the
everybody
fucking earth right
and
now.
worldwide, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be hip hop, even though they don't understand that what they're doing is hip hop,
Bro,
right?
I
You
saw an
see Korean
Indian
kids with
fucking
their
battle.
cornrows and their tracksuits on. They just think like, oh, this is how the Americans dress. This looks cool. They don't understand that that originated from the hip hop scene. You
Yeah.
see fucking Ray Gun breakdancing in the Olympics and doing all this goofy shit. She just thinks she's doing something cool and fun. She don't understand the origins of that,
Yeah.
right? But we as a black community, one of the things that we have to be able to recognize in terms of gatekeeping is like who's a vulture and who's not,
I
because there's
think
black vultures, there's white vultures, there's vultures from every race that
so.
are
So
taken from the culture
so
and
coming from the
So I
inside
mean,
of
I
it,
think that
I was
I
just gonna
think.
say real quick that coming
Oh,
from the inside of the industry, you could kind of see what's the publicity. Like for me, having experience, I could see what's the publicity stunt, what's put together by a team. This is not new. He was doing this when he remade White Men Can't Jump. So go
mhm.
back to then. That's when they started targeting black people. So they did the movie, and then he did the album, and then he said the thing. So
So
he's been. It's like this is not something new. He's been doing it
even before that
I
movie,
mean,
he did it.
I think with
even before.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
it's
hold on,
been.
hold on,
Jack
hold on.
real quick,
Even before that
with Jack,
movie, he had did an interview with his Adidas sneaker deal, and they was asking him about like basically like a lot of shit, all the shit that was going on in the black community and hip hop and blah 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 blah. And he said one thing that stood out to me. He says, "Of course, I'm backing black people." He said, because if you're in hip hop, you gotta black them. You gotta back them if you're gonna be in hip hop. So to me, that's one of those things where if you wasn't in hip hop, would you still feel the same way? I don't know. I don't know him, so I don't know. He may not. But it's the
Essentially what
fact
he's
that you
saying,
said it that way that made it sound crazy as shit. And then
essentially
after that, it's like a lot of the shit
but
that you do, it's like it's almost like you trying to appropriate versus just being you. It don't
essentially
seem
what
like
Yeah,
it's
he
here's
you.
the thing though.
trying
Here's
to
the
get
thing
the black
with hip
girl
hop in general.
vibe.
We kind of forget about hip hop being the most like the least barriers of entry in all of
yeah.
music versus any other genre, right? You don't need to learn how to sing. You don't have to know how to write music. You don't even have to really know how to do anything really. You don't need really anything but a laptop and a microphone, and you can create hip hop. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I think that the issues that Jack Harlow is having now is that he's jumping into neo soul, which is a little bit more of a barrier because it's more catered to specifically the experiences of the black people. You feel what I'm
It
saying?
just
Like you can
yeah.
have hip hop where it's like Eminem can talk about his experience as a white boy. You can have a Jack Harlow when he was doing rap, nobody cares. You feel what I'm saying? But when
So
you have something that is intrinsically still at its core
I
100% black and you jump into that field, it totally puts
I
you in
gotta.
another context. And the other thing with the whole thing with him saying that he was like he got blacker with the album, that definitely got out of context, kind of crazy. When you hear it in context, it sounds a little bit better, not a lot, but a little
I
bit
wanna.
better.
I
But
went and
Ask
listened
realistically,
you.
to
Let
it.
me ask you
I
a
went and
I'm
question.
listened
going
to
with
it
it,
just to
but
make sure, and it
But
still sounded crazy to me.
I want to ask the question real quick. So when you said that, like the Jack Harlow thing being more of the of black culture, you know what I'm saying, expecting that. Don't you think that's kind of like the reverse of when, like, back in the oldies, when certain people like Johnny or whatever his name is sing ooh up, da, 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 and then white people would find out they were black? Isn't that kind of like the reverse of that? You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm
Go
not
back,
sure.
go back to the days before,
I
like the
mean,
1930s, 40s, when black artists started going mainstream, and then when people came out to see them, white people would be shocked that they would be of color. That their favorite song that they
yeah,
were
because that
doo
happened to
wopping.
Chuck Berry.
Go back to
Well,
history.
one of the things that happened with that is one, the artist would be black the whole time, but what the labels would do is on the album cover, it's a white group.
It's a Uno card.
Yeah, it's
They hitting the Uno card with Jack.
and this is what like every genre of popular music in America was invented by black people. So
Right.
rock and roll, death metal, country, all this shit that is currently viewed as white music and they're white dominated genres, these things were taken from us. And the way they were taken from us is just that. It's I'm either gonna outright steal the song, circa Elvis, or you black people perform this, but we're gonna put the white boys on stage and let them lip sync to your track, and we're gonna put their picture on the cover, and we're gonna put them on TV. But the whole time, it's black people in the studio, in the
I'm a
writing
firm
room.
I'm a firm believer that no music genre has a color. I feel like whatever genre of music you decide to do should be based off you, your experience. It shouldn't be, oh well, I gotta sound like them over there. It should sound like you. With that being said, let's get into our next segment. Bum.
Yeah. Hey. 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 Yeah. Hey.
Okay. All you hip hop junkies, you think you know hip hop? Well, tell me what happened today in 2005. Better yet, tell me what happened today in 1989. We know you don't know. That's why Easy about to break this day down in hip hop for you.
Yo. Welcome to this week's edition of Hip Hop News. I know I've been gone for a few weeks. I missed y'all, but I'm back. I'm back to grace y'all's presence with some knowledge. We're going to start out with some birthdays for this week. Shout out MC Coke LaRock. Happy birthday, celebrating today. That's an old ass nigga, but that's a cold ass nigga right there. Coke LaRock was one of the GOATs. Shout out Killer Mike. Happy birthday, Mr. 420. I see why he smoked so much weed. And he also shared birthday with my mom's. So that make him a cool dude in my book. Bahamadia celebrated a birthday this week. And then Supernatural also celebrated a birthday this week. So shout out to them. On the opposite side of birth, of course, we got death. We got some death anniversaries this week. In 2021, Shock G passed away. Shock G is responsible for giving us Tupac. So, I mean, that contribution alone, makes him a legend in the game, but he also is a legend musically himself as part of the Digital Underground. He gave us the Humpty Dance. One of the craziest things with that whole thing is just putting on another persona and being somebody else. Even though we all knew it was Shock G, we pretended like Humpty was a real person. So shout out Shock G, rest in peace. And then one of the legends in hip hop passed away in 2010 that we've missed for a long time now. I can't believe it's been 16 years, but Guru, rest in peace. Also celebrating the death anniversary of Guru. On to some album releases. Speaking of classics, right? There's a handful on this list that are considered classics, whether it's by opinion or by time and longevity. One of those that stands out, Mobb Deep, The Infamous, dropped in 1995. I'm gonna say this real quick. April's a hell of a month for hip hop. Like a lot of significant things have happened in the month of April. But shout out Mobb Deep, The Infamous. No matter what walk of life you from, this album is highly regarded as a classic.
Front to back like it ain't nothing.
Yeah. X-Clan, To the East, Blackwards, dropped in 1990. So shout out to X-Clan. The Beastie Boys, one of the first, I don't even know if they were the first white group to ever like really pop, but they were one of the first for sure. But they dropped Check Your Head in 1992. So shout out to the Beastie Boys. The Who's the Man soundtrack. This was one of the best soundtracks of the 90s right here. And funny ass movie, but it really was a good soundtrack. Has some legends on there, but that soundtrack dropped in 93. Um, one of the albums that's highly regarded as the classic hip hop album, dropped in 1994. And we all know what I'm talking about. So make no mistake about it. Nas, Illmatic took the world by storm. I would say this is probably unanimously considered a classic. If it's not, you probably haven't heard it or you hating. Um, 2004, Ghostface dropped the Pretty Tony album. This one I actually never listened to. Really didn't care about its existence, but I might have to go and check it out, because I think the title of it alone was just kind of turned me off. I'm like, the Pretty Tony album, like what the hell? But I'm a Ghostface fan, so I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the Pretty Tony album and see what's up. And then an album that I would say by any means is a classic, but you know this dude because he gonna let you know who he is. But in 2005, the world hit us with who? Not everybody at the same time. Who?
Mike Jones.
Jones. If you don't know nothing else, you know his name, and you probably know
and his phone number
281-330-8004. But 2005 was the year that Mike Jones let us know who Mike Jones is. So shout out Mike Jones. Some current events that's going down right now. If you haven't seen it, Vince Staples just dropped a new visual for his track Blackberry Marmalade, and it's pretty controversial. It depicts a mass shooting of several black people in a diner. The video and the song are a rather broad representation of racism against black people in America. The shit was pretty jarring to watch. If you haven't seen the video, trigger warning. If you are a person that gets triggered by violence, especially gun violence, I wouldn't recommend that you watch it, but it is a very powerful and impactful video with a message. I watched the song too. The song was kind of reminds me of by Childish Gambino, but I think a much better song than This Is America. Speaking of culture vultures, Vlad is into more controversy, apparently, about whether or not he's the feds. And we all know Vlad is the feds. But All-Star JR was taken into federal custody in connection with the shooting of Ben 10. So this whole story is crazy. So All-Star JR and Ben 10 got into some mess. I guess Ben 10 tried to rob him. He took the gun from him and shot him. And now they on the internet arguing over who's a snitch and who's not a snitch. But on his way to his Vlad interview, All-Star JR got arrested, picked up by the feds, and now people are talking again about whether or not Vlad set him up. I've always thought Vlad was at least an informant, at least indirectly, because he asked too many questions about shit he should.
The craziest shit.
I don't know why Boosie keep going on there. Boosie's starting to make me think he an informant too. Okay, I'm just playing Boosie. I ain't mean that. Some funny shit. So obviously Drake is doing his whole rollout campaign of Iceman. Somebody thought it would be funny to troll Drake again by dropping visuals for a Kendrick Lamar album called Fireman. These people got too much time on their hands. But either way, I think it's free promo for Drake. So the parody suggests that K-Dot is ready to rain on the Champagne Parade again. So we'll see what goes down. I doubt he's going to make an album called Fireman. We know this is satire, but I think it's pretty funny. And then last but not least, I want to talk about, I don't know why I keep having to talk about this particular person that I'm going to shout out at the end, but every time this topic comes up, his name is involved. But RZA was campaigning to Barack Obama to get the Wu-Tang Clan inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And rightfully so, because they should already be in there. Love Outkast, favorite group. Shout out to them, ATLian. But Outkast is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Wu-Tang should be in there too. I still think Outkast is the greatest group of all times and Wu-Tang number 2, but they both should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But I believe that Wu-Tang finally did get the nomination. So, but speaking of that, as I've said, every time I talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and hip hop, fuck Gene Simmons. who said that hip hop doesn't belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Fuck you, Gene Simmons. Every time I talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I'm gonna say fuck you to Gene Simmons. Because fuck you, Gene Simmons. And that is this week's hip hop news. So my question for y'all with that. Do y'all think Vlad is the feds?
Of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's giving it. Yeah.
I
And
agree.
Boosie
Because
started.
why
He said he
you
was gonna start working on it
why
because he didn't want to pay him the extra $5.
but what does he do to get everybody to talk? You know what I'm saying? Like
He
everybody
paid
just be feeling free and talking, just
most of the
It's
people
really,
that he
yeah, it's
people that
psychological.
their name ain't really popping like that right now at the moment.
oh no, I get it. I get
Disrespect
it.
there a little bit. Pause. That's all that shit is. He cut him a nice little check and motherfuckers get to talking. Do
So
I
for
think these motherfuckers is dumb as shit for keep going on there? Yeah.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
it goes. I think it goes to another thing. Like I say, that I say you can look at actual documents. The hip hop police does exist. Hip hop, the
Yeah.
police. There is police details on certain artists. Certain artists are watched. Whether bigger, local, under the hip hop police exists. Now, do I believe that they could have an informant, a paid informant as blood? Of course, because look at history. It's not the only time that our government or a federal agent has used outside tactics in order to get a
What?
confession. And I mean, if the police
Yeah.
would use Vlad, why not? Like everybody's asking why, but I think the bigger question is why not? Because Vlad is getting a bag from that. If he's
No.
turning people in and getting people to admit to certain crimes, I mean that's a confession that they can use against court. Some people can't use music, but they can use them videos of confessions.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
One of the things that stood out to me with this situation, and I know it happens for every interview, is that when he calls to set up the interview and talk about the topics that they're going to talk about, those conversations are recorded. And I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't understand why you need to record that. If like, hey, we're gonna talk to you about your upbringing, we talk to you about your album that's coming out. Is it okay if I talk to you about this situation with beef with this person or that person? Like, why you got to record that? Put that shit on a notepad
Well,
and check
by
it off.
Why do
recording
we
it,
gotta talk about it?
Right.
Yeah, you got a point there.
I'm pretty sure Hector gonna agree with this when I say this, right? By recording it, you can't turn around and say, "Well, I didn't give you permission to ask that
Right.
question," because you clearly said it right here, and I have the footage saying that you said it.
I'm not gonna hold you. That's why I do paper trails. Hey, you ready to do this? You gonna do that? You gonna do this? Bet. All
I
right, we
mean,
gonna run it. So
you covering your own ass at the
Right.
end of the
yeah.
day legally. So I get
Mm-hmm.
that. But at the end, but what I'm saying is, hey, you can't ask me about that. And when they ask me some shit that they want to record, I don't know what you're talking about. What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like
over five artists in the last year have in the last 2 years have been arrested in connection of Vlad that has used
mm-hmm.
Vlad
Yeah.
interviews in the
Mm-hmm.
court. Over five high profile. I mean, once is what do they say? Once is a coincidence. Twice is
Yeah.
3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times.
And look at the timing, right? So superstar or all-star JR, whatever his name is, this shit just happened between him and Ben 10. Why Vlad want to interview him right now?
That's how it go down. So you said a specific word, right, during your segment just now. You used the word "goat." First of all, shout out to LL who coined the phrase "goat," which a lot of people, for some reason, I don't know why, don't really want to put him in a GOAT conversation, which to me is just crazy. That's just me. He's definitely in my top 5 for sure. People don't show LL enough love. It is what it is. But you coined the phrase, he coined the phrase GOAT, and you said that whoever you were just talking about was one of the GOATs.
Guru.
So clearly a lot of people have their own GOAT, if you will, as to who they feel is the greatest of all time. And that's okay. We all listen to different shit. We all like different music. We all lived in different eras, all of that type of shit. So my question to y'all is this. Easy.
Yo.
Can you be a legendary artist and have zero potential or classic albums?
You can be. I mean, if you think about that, right? There are many legendary artists that don't have a classic album. Now, ask me to name them. I'm gonna have to like really think about that really seriously, right?
I can name one right now off
But
the rip, and he's one of your favorites.
It's like the Carl Malone of fucking hip hop.
No, he know exactly who the fuck I'm about to say.
You better not say T.I., motherfucker.
I was gonna say T.I. I think T.I. got at least 3 legendary
at least
albums to me.
Yeah. But
I
anyway,
was talking about 3K.
He don't have okay, so first and foremost, he does, motherfucker, because as a member of Outkast,
it's an Outkast.
Member of Outkast,
it's an Outkast album. We need to stop doing this every time.
Solo album, no. Stop bullshit with me, boss. We're not gonna be doing no 3K disrespect around this motherfucker. Okay?
We need to stop. It was an Outkast album.
Outkast, he is half.
So we not counting because he was in a group.
He is half of
the
group.
We not
Clearly, he does. So, the question was, can you be a legendary artist and not have a classic album or potential album?
Can I just say?
Have no album.
Hey, can I just say one word? One word. One word. Flutes.
That's such a technicality.
Flutes.
Fuck out of here, Freddie. Fuck out of here. You ain't that flute.
I don't know why.
I think you can have. I think you can if the artist has a legendary life. If the music is not all up to par, but the lifestyle and the life that they follow.
So your life and your lifestyle outweighs your music, if you will, and that makes you legendary.
Unfortunately, you got to look at the consumers. We're not in a base where
does that make you a legendary person or a legendary artist?
You're still in the same category. I mean, we have legendary.
So
I think.
So what about Flavor Flav? What about Flavor Flav?
It's opinion. It still goes back to opinion.
Flavor Flav a legendary artist.
Nah, like he's a legend in hip hop.
He's not a legendary artist. Nobody's ever said that. Nigga, Flavor Flav won't even tell you he's a legendary artist.
Not a legendary artist, but he's a legend in hip hop. He's a legendary figure in hip hop.
Yes, he's a legendary hype man. That's what he is. It is what it is.
So I'm gonna use an example. So like,
boy.
I was about to admonish you earlier because I said something and you was about to disagree with me, and it's cool to disagree with me on this. But I said that Migos don't have a classic album, and you was about to say Culture, and I was like, I disagree, but your opinion, right? But I will say this: Migos will go down as a legendary group. To me, they don't have a classic album. But
I think also too, you got to consider Migos. Most of their work ethic came from mixtapes, so it's like at that point, we gonna put their heads on like what albums and who has a classic album, and then of course we're not even gonna consider their solo projects that they all did. So it's kind of just like I could see it. That's why I'm like, if I'm thinking of a classic album within that realm, I'm gonna say Culture. If we want to say YRN, like the mixtape, maybe if we count mixtapes, but I that's kind of where I'm coming from with that.
But I'm by no means saying that Culture wasn't a great album. I just don't consider it a classic. But if we going by Raw's question, I would put Migos in that category of they are legendary. What they did as a group, not only for the city of Atlanta, but for hip hop in general, because you have a whole new subgenre of hip hop that is a result of the Migos influence. But am I spinning any of their albums on repeat every day or once a month or in the next 10 years? Will I even be thinking about Culture? Probably not. But you say Quavo, I'll be like, oh yeah, that boy Quavo. I know who you're talking about. And I can look at this kid in 20 years that's influenced by Quavo and Offset and Takeoff for what they did in hip hop.
Yeah, so I think you gotta at least I'm not gonna get into it right with that, man.
Nope.
But I think to concede to the argument, I would say that you may not have to have like classic albums per se, but you gotta have some like major songs at the bare minimum.
Yes.
So it's just like,
so if you got two, let's say your album got 15 songs, right? As long as you got 2 bangers, you good.
Not even necessarily. I'm talking about like not even two
Consistent.
songs on one album. And like consistently, how you could have like 1 or 2 hit records. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's
Like
just like
consistently
somebody.
putting out hit
That's
records.
not a
You
good
got them
track.
2 joints. You got them 2 joints
Because
that
it's like so if
two
you're not
on the
going
charts,
so you're not
play on
going
the
to
radio heavy, and that's enough.
So let's use your example, right, of Outkast, right? You saying that 3 Stacks doesn't have a classic album. Okay, cool. But Hey Ya is not one of the biggest songs ever.
Okay.
Where was Big Boy on that
It's
song?
the Outkast song, not a
So
3K song.
What was Big Boy though?
It's the
He
Outkast
keeps
song.
splitting
we just say
hairs.
we just
It's
splitting the
still
hair so much.
no.
on
It's
You want to
this,
not
bro.
split? You
splitting.
want to split
It
hairs
is
and say
not.
he don't have a
Listen,
classic
listen.
album? We can
It
say
is
The
not.
Love Below
It
was a
is
classic album.
not. If you look up that album, right, you cannot look up that album under Andre 3000. You look up that album under Outkast. It
You
is an
can't look up
Outkast
any
album
album under Andre 3000 because he's never
because
made
he
a
has
solo
his
album.
point.
none.
Yes, but his point is
What do you mean?
stupid because he is half of a group with classic albums. That's like saying
Yeah,
that
that's not
RZA
a.
don't have no classic albums. RZA was fucking head of Wu-Tang. He got
No,
classic
no, no,
albums.
no, no, no.
This
No,
ain't got no
because
classic albums. Get the fuck out of
Then
here.
you telling
The
me 36
Wu-Tang got
Fingers was,
classic albums, nigga.
but he see what I'm saying?
Method has classic albums because
It's not a
Method
splitting
did
of
solo.
hairs thing.
Method has
It's
classic
ODB
solo
has
albums.
classic albums because ODB did solo.
Yeah, it's like
Ghostface has
with
classic album because
it's like with
Ghostface did solos.
it's like
Okay,
with
so Raw
that's
don't
like
have
with
a classic
NWA.
podcast because he's doing this with us. He
That's
don't
like
have
with NWA. Like with NWA split up. Ice had classic
You're right.
album. Dre had a
Right.
classic album. You don't consider that an NWA album.
Say again?
You wouldn't consider that an NWA album
What's that?
when they were
But
broken
they
up.
again they put
No,
out.
No.
because it's-
But
But
they
as
put
a
out
group,
albums
collectively,
as individuals. Like
yes,
when we say 3000 never put out an album except for the Flute joint. So it's like that's such a
yes. So he
that's such
doesn't
an
have any
outlier
albums to go
at that
by
point.
to give to say
So
he has a classic
outlier.
album.
so Chop, he gonna say we biased
That's
because
the
we
outlier.
ATLians, right?
I'm not
But
saying
I'm
you
gonna
guys.
tell you, I'm
I'ma
gonna tell
be
you what
honest.
Raw's trying to
Listen,
do. I'm gonna tell
I
you
will
what
go
Raw's
on the
trying to do.
record.
He's
I
trying to
will
be
go on the record and
controversial,
say
and
3K
he's
is one
trying.
of the best lyricists we have ever heard in our fucking life.
He's
I
trying every
will go on
day.
the record and say that. But that does not mean he has anything classic of his own. He's either crazy on a feature or with the group. It is what it is. It's not a splitting hairs thing. And it's not, to me, that's not, don't take away from his
But
legacy.
why
But
does he
that's
need to have anything classic on his own if his body of work
Was
as
the
a member of
criteria that we
Outkast?
were asking.
But okay, so then how about this?
Can you
Since he's
can Rob
never
give
been,
another example other than
since
3
he's
Stacks?
never
Like
been a
another
solo artist,
specific
So
example
he-
of this
hold
one
on.
happening?
Since he's
Okay.
never been a solo
Somebody,
artist,
yeah.
this is
Sticky
a
fingers.
bullshit
I give you
argument.
another
So
example.
pick somebody
Sticky
else.
fingers.
Pick somebody else because he's never
No.
been a solo artist. So this is a bullshit argument.
Sticky Fingers. One of the
Exactly.
greatest, nigga. Some of your favorite verses from Onyx came from Sticky Fingers, but you're not going to say Sticky got a legendary album. Sticky got legendary
Does
songs.
Sticky have a solo album?
Not that I'm aware of.
What
That's
is
the
I
point.
wouldn't-
stop using motherfuckers that don't have a solo album to make this point.
Yeah, this point doesn't make sense if they don't have a
Easy.
solo album. It's
Easy.
just-
Dumb as
You
fuck.
literally,
because that's how
you
is that fair to
literally
compare
dying
them
on
to
the hill
anybody
that
else?
3 Stacks is a legendary artist because he has an
is.
album, but the album doesn't belong to him.
He's a legendary artist. He don't have a fucking solo album.
Nigga,
Neither
I
does Sticky
disagree
Fingers.
with
And
you
it's
on
not
that.
like 3 Stacks couldn't have dropped the album
So
if he
why are we
didn't want
trying?
to. Like
Why are
he
we?
chose
Why
not
are
to
we
do
trying
it.
to make this point with people that don't have a
Bruh,
solo album?
Listen to me. Listen to me. Easy. Listen to me for a second. Easy. Listen to me.
This is a stupid ass argument.
It's only stupid because you're your favorite artist, nigga.
No, it's
I
not. I
agree.
don't even fucking
Nah,
like
it's
Sticky
kind of
Fingers.
stupid.
I'm literally, bruh,
Kinda
bruh, I'm literally sitting here agreeing with you, and you still upset. That's what makes
Because
me
you were
crazy.
trying to make. Okay, it's like this. You're trying to make fucking grapes the greatest fruit of all time, but the caveat is they have to be in a bunch. So one grape can't be great because
All right,
it's
I
not
give
part
you
of the
another
bunch.
one. I
So,
give you another one.
hold on.
I give you another one, and I specifically said,
Motherfucker better not be in a group. Like if
I
you
walked
did Bun
into-
B,
I
then that
walked
makes sense.
into, listen, I walked into this episode, and in my mind, I said, I'm going to specifically not say this person's name. I specifically said this, right? And to me, this guy has no classic fucking albums. Now, Chop may not agree with me. I don't fucking know.
God.
He might agree with
Here
me.
we go.
I don't fucking know.
Here we go.
But once upon a time, 2 Chainz was part of a group. To this day, the niggas still don't got no classic fucking albums. I'm just saying.
I disagree.
Solo
I
albums.
disagree.
So he's a prime example of
about
being.
that.
And I don't even know if we can call him a legendary artist. Like he's a great artist, but
I just tried not to piss Chop off, and then you say that.
I'm
not
gonna hold you. This is hilarious.
I want to hear why Sophie disagrees because she's in that younger generation. Why do you think 2 Chainz? What album do you think 2 Chainz has that was a classic?
Based on a true story.
it's great.
That one Pretty Girls Love Trap Music. That's the 2 nights. It's like
so because it was a good album, it makes it a classic.
2 Chainz not a legendary artist.
I wouldn't say he's legendary. So he's great.
He's been in the game for a minute. I would say
How long?
Legendary.
How long is a minute?
I've been in the game for a minute. Am I legendary?
Snoop Dogg was running DTD. He was
Okay.
Like 04 or 5.
The legend.
Yeah.
I mean, he
No,
was.
I'm asking, just like I'm in the conversation of what makes everybody legendary.
I will say
It's interesting. It's very
2 Chainz was
interesting.
definitely hella hot.
I consider 2 Chainz legendary. It ain't many artists that I consider that, but I feel like 2 Chainz is one of them.
No, and I'm not saying he's not.
I agree with you. I do believe that 2 Chainz is a legendary artist. I do. He's the king of the one-liners. He's the Rodney Dangerfield of rap. It is what
write
it
it
is.
down. Oh, here he is. Where's backhanded compliment? You see that shit, Chop? Get on him. Get him.
This shit was recorded.
Man,
Though.
listen,
He one of the forefathers of trap.
All right. Let me get in.
I give it to him. He won it.
Just for a second. All right.
So Raw, if you had tried to make your same argument with Bun B, it would make sense. Bun B has 3 solo albums, right? He has classic albums as a member of UGK.
No,
none of
UGK
Bun B's
has
albums
classic albums. Bun B does not.
No, that's what I'm saying. So, like, if you would have tried to use the Andre 3000 argument,
classic album, 3K does not. It's the same.
3K doesn't have a solo album,
But
so
that's
we
not
can't
the thing, 'cause
use
3K
him as
don't
an
have
example in
album
that
songs.
scenario.
No, wait.
It's not the
If
same
he
thing.
doesn't, wait. If he does not have a solo album, he can't have a classic album.
So then,
but you said, you specifically said that I was being disrespectful by saying what I said.
You was being
every song that has come out with him on it, unless it's a feature for somebody else, every song is an Outkast song. That was no knock towards him. I wasn't even trying to throw no shade. You took it as shade.
I feel like that argument. Your
argument was like trying to make a fish climb a tree.
Boy, maybe.
I did not.
Like if you had used Big Boy as an argument for what you're saying, that would have made more sense than 3 Stacks, because 3 Stacks literally never put out an album. It's the same thing with what Easy is saying. Like, so it's like Bun B has solo albums. So we can say, like, we can put him apart from the group.
Wait a minute.
We can sit here and critique him as a solo
album. 3K did put out an album.
Nigga, not as a rapper. He put out an album as an instrumentalist.
With the flute, come on.
Put out an album.
As an instrumentalist, not as a rapper. You said legendary rapper, not legendary flute player.
He said
artist. We can't keep saying he don't have an album. We got to stop saying that, because he does. And he put out the album that he wanted to put out. And I'm not mad at that.
It's legendary status.
Am I going to listen to a Dalai Lama classic ever again? Fuck no. I don't want to feel like I'm sitting in a nail salon every time I put his music on. I'm just saying. It is what the fuck it is.
Him and Kenny G can have a versus.
Exactly. I'm just saying.
His ass.
Amen. Listen.
Is he going to play his flute live? Because he can't remember the notes he played on the album.
Oh, shit.
Listen, I think I'm gonna still stand on the hill that Outkast is such an outlier, because while they were a group, they still had songs where they weren't together. Like Morris Brown does not have 3 Stacks on it at all. All right. When you listen to Hey Ya, you do not hear Big Boy on it at all. You feel what I'm saying? Like
When you
these
look
are
up that
still
song,
big
when you
records
look
that
up
they
that
were
song, how
count
do you
as
look it up?
Outcast. But
Do you type in Andre 3000 Hey
I'm
Y'all, or
listening
do you
right
type
now.
in Outkast Hey Y'all?
I type in Andre
hey,
3000. Hey,
I
y'all.
think
Honestly, I
I
ain't
think
gonna lie
also
to you, bro.
the big thing though is like guys are forgetting Andre wasn't really a rap, like wasn't really the music guy. He was the producer. He was a writer.
Oh shit! I
So
just searched Andre
so
3000.
a
And
lot of
he
the
out came.
songs, a lot of our favorite songs, some of them we don't even know that he wrote, but he
But
was
wait,
mainly in the
real
producing
quick,
section.
when we talking about Hey Y'all specifically, that album, they had two separate specific albums.
Two separate specific Outkast albums as a
that's
That he
joint
what
unit.
the
produced most
point.
of it.
Yes,
No,
that's what we're
yeah, I'm
going
just
Joint
for.
saying.
unit
I'm
as
just saying.
Outkast. It's not a Big
Yeah.
Boy and
But
3K
it
album.
don't count according to
Outkast.
Raw's
It's
metric.
the Outkast
The-
Yeah,
number.
that's what I mean.
So,
Okay.
like, Ashes of Influence is part of Enlightened Idiots.
No, it's complete.
I'm just
What?
saying that's his
So
logic.
listen.
That's his logic.
So what I'm
Hey,
gonna
Rob,
say
Let's wrap this
is
shit up.
I'm
Let's
trying
wrap
to
this
figure
shit up.
out
dead
why
ass.
you so mad right now, Easy. I'm
Dead ass.
confused.
Because you're
This is what it is.
disrespecting the
Y'all all
king of the
gotta
eighth.
Like
realize
I took money out your mouth or something, my nigga.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
damn,
the world is
shit.
It's
subjective.
Listen,
We
you know
just
I
okay.
all
don't
gonna
go for
argue
no.
about it.
I don't go for no
Three
three
Stacks
stack
is literally one of the
slander
greatest to ever
or
do it.
disrespect.
So
at
it's
all.
like trying
listen, I
to.
literally started my statement by saying I think that Three Stacks is one of the greatest lyricists I've ever heard in my life. He's one of the greatest of our generation. He's one of the greatest of multiple generations. So him not having an album doesn't take away from his legacy.
But you're trying
Just
to make
because
it
he
take away.
put out that Dalai Lama classic, I think he shouldn't have did that. But it is what the fuck it is. Like,
Nigga, you can't put trick questions on the test that can't nobody get right.
okay, Easy. I don't know what to say. Here's what I'm gonna say.
Hey, you forgot. You should have been here last week, Easy. That's all. You should have been here last week.
That
That's all.
nigga on
Here's
his
what I'm
good
gonna
note
say.
tonight.
Only thing I'm gonna say is we about to get the fuck out of here, so we're gonna let our last segment of the night rock out. Yeah, I forgot about that, Freddie. Nigga voguing through pictures.
All right. So, you always got to have haters, especially the ones that don't like Three Stacks. But anyways, anywho,
Big
all
A.
right, let's get to it. First topic, what actually makes a classic album? Because I'm seeing the debate get real messy across generation. What one era calls a classic, another era calls mid, and honestly, both sides kind of have a point. If you grew up in the CD era or early streaming, a classic album probably meant something you could play front to back, no skips, cohesive sound, a body of work, something that felt intentional, like the artist had a vision and stuck to it. But if you're in the newer generation, playlist kind of feels like they replaced the albums. So now a classic might just be a project with multiple hits. If it dominated social media, charts, clubs, TikTok, that's enough to stamp it. Longevity isn't always required the same way. So now we got to ask, is a classic album based on shelf life, likes, hits, viral, and can you play it 5, 10, 15 years later and the hits sound the same? Or is it about cohesiveness, the storytelling, the sequencing, the vibe from start to finish? Or is it the impact, culture shifting moments, sounds that influence everything after it been played? Because some albums age like fine wine, and others were hot for a summer and disappear. And depending on your generation, you might value one over the other. So I want to know, what do you consider a classic album? Is it timeless or just impactful in the moment? Drop that in the comments. Next up, let's talk about Meg the Stallion and Clay situation. Yeah, that breakup got people picking sides like it's the finals. we are in the NBA finals soon, soon, soon. Are you team Meg, focusing on independence, career, doing you no matter what? Or are you team Clay, maybe looking at it from the relationship, timing, and lifestyle perspective? whatever. Sometimes it's not about who's right or wrong. It's just who incapable of handling a lifestyle. But you know how the internet is, so they're going to pick who they like and they're going to move forward. Now let's get deeper. What makes someone a culture vulture? A lot of people jump straight to race, but I think it's bigger than that. To me, it's about intent and contribution. Are you just taking from the culture when it's profitable and trendy? Or are you actually respecting it, contributing to it, and giving back? Because you can be from the culture and still move like a vulture. And can you be outside the culture and still show appreciation and respect to it? So is it about where you're from or how you move? That's a real conversation people need to be asking themselves. And last one, are we still confused about who Vlad is? Because at this point, it is what it is. Maybe he's a streaming podcaster who asks wild questions and idiots just answer it. Or maybe he's being intentful and helping the other side. I'm not here to judge. Get your money how you want to get your money. Just realize it's going to come at a cost. That's freedom for a lot of you. So that's been the hectic 5 minutes. Remember, if you like everything we have going on here at Enlightened Idiots, subscribe, like, and drop in comments. We like to see what y'all have to say about our quirky group of panelists that we have from time to time. So remember, catch us every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're out of here.